Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on how to use the Texas Instruments TI-83 scientific calculator. I'm going to show you how to solve a linear equation using your TI-83 calculator. As you can see, I have Microsoft's OneNote program up on the screen, and I have downloaded over here on the screen the emulator software for a TI-83 scientific calculator. This is called the TI-83 Flash Debugger. To open this calculator, I click on the TI-83 Flash Debugger icon, and this comes up. Once I get to here, I'm going to go to the File and select New, and I'm going to choose this one right here, the TI-83 Plus. Select OK. And then this is a screen we're not going to use. We're going to actually use a virtual calculator. So I want to go over here to the play button, select play, and my virtual calculator appears. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to minimize this. If I were to exit out of that, it would also exit out of my calculator. So now I'm going to reposition this calculator so we can see a little clearer. And I'm going to turn it on. It looks like it's on now, but it's not. So we're going to click on the on button. And as you see, everything cleared off that screen. Just to make sure that everything's working, let's have a little fun. Let's take the current year, 2014, minus the year that many of us were born in this class. That's 1970. And we press enter, and it should give us the answer, 44. There it is. Now, after you look at that in disbelief and think, I'm 44 and watching a video tutorial on how to use a scientific calculator, well, just accept it. Here we are. But let's go ahead and clear this off, and let's do something a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to press clear, and the linear equation that we're going to solve, I'm going to type over here into our Microsoft OneNote. So the equation we're going to solve for is going to be x plus 2 equals 7 times the quantity x minus 5 minus 1. Now we're going to enter this equation into our Texas Instruments 83 Plus. And in order to do that, we're going to look at this equation as two independent lines, and we're going to try and graph it onto our calculator and try to find the intersection. So I go here into my OneNote, and this is going to be one of our lines, and we're going to call this Y1. Excuse my handwriting. And this is going to be our other line, and we're going to call this Y2. Now I'm going to go over here to the scientific calculator, and I'm going to select this button here that says Y equals. So we know that this is going to be here our Y1 value. So let's go ahead and enter that here. We're going to enter x plus 2, and that is our Y1. So we just press enter, and it moves us down to our Y2. Now let's enter that equation, that portion of the equation is 7 times the quantity x minus 5 minus 1, and press enter. Now we know that we have this in, and this tells us we're going to plot two lines. We're going to plot that Y1 line and the Y2 line. Now after we have this in our calculator, now we're going to tell our calculator to graph this line. So as you can see, there's a button here that says graph. So I'm just going to press that button, and there's our nice graph. We have two lines that intersect. And our answer for x is going to be along the x-axis at the intersecting point. But that's pretty hard to see. I mean, we could ask the calculator to zoom in by pressing zoom and selecting 2 and try to figure it out, but now that's a little too zoomed in, if you will. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to zoom out, which is number 3. We come down here, select number 3, enter, and now we're back to here. If you see our flashing cursor, we could also push the arrow buttons along the x-axis and go up, and gives us an approximation of our intersecting point. Pretty close. It's right in there. But if we wanted to be a little more specific on our answer, we could ask the calculator to give us this x-axis. It's saying right here, we're guessing it's 6.38. But we want to find out for certain what that intersecting point is. So to do this, we're going to press the calculate button. And this is the second function of this button here, which is trace. But we're going to press second function. You'll see the arrow come up. and then we're going to press calculate. And we're going to go down here to number 5 to the intersect, so we can press number 5 and it goes to intersect. It's going to ask us a series of questions. It's going to ask us, is this our first curve? Well, first curve is just asking, is this our line, our first line, which is y1, and we know that that portion of our equation, which is right here, define that as y1, so that is correct. So this is our first curve, so we're just going to press enter, and then it's going to ask us, is this our second curve, which is 7 times the quantity x minus 5 minus 1, which that is, so, and press enter again. Then it's going to ask us if we want it to guess. We don't want it to guess, and that's more for complex linear equations, and this is not that complex, so we're just going to go ahead and press enter and tell us what it is. Well, as you can see, the flashing cursor is exactly on the intersect. We were pretty close in our guessing, but our x answer for this equation, which we want to solve for x, is 6.3333. Now, we want to make sure that this is correct, so we're going to come back over here and we're going to solve this problem. So I'm going to move this up a little bit. I'm going to select the cursor for handwriting. As we know, as we distribute the 7, we get 7x minus 35 minus 1. All the time that this is still over on this side of the equation. Now we're going to move the 2 over, and we're going to get 7x minus 35 minus 1 minus 2, which is x, 7x minus 35, 36, 38. And I'm going to move this up just a little bit so I have a little more room. Come back here, and now we have, and we're going to move this 7x over onto the left side of the equation. So we're going to have x minus 7x equals negative 38. And then we're going to reduce this down to negative 6 equals negative 38. So we're going to bring the 6 over to the other side. So that means we're going to divide 38 by 6. And we know we don't want x to be negative, so we're going to take the negative away. And we get 38 over 6, which can be reduced down if I divide the denominator and numerator by 2. And we know that this is going to be 19 over 3, which then can be reduced down further, which is 6 1/3. Well, we know 6 1/3 is the equivalent to, and I got to come back over here because it does hibernate and it goes to sleep. And we can see that x equals 6.3333 repeating, which is the equivalent of saying 6 1/3, which is our answer over here. So it does appear that everything worked out correctly, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use your Texas Instruments TI-83 scientific calculator. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.